Hello everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor in Paradise, a guy's review. That's right, it's City Slicker Dave here in New York City with a live update for the next Bachelor of 2022. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, give it up for on-the-go content here. So I'm not going to have any pictures for you. I'm going to read the story. It dropped late last night who the next Bachelor will be. We don't know the name. We know, drum rolls, boo, that it'll be from that'll be from Michelle's season of The Bachelorette, which I am surprised by because it's going to be a quick turnover. We haven't even met her guys yet. They're going to have to start filming this in several weeks. So let's get into this article. Hollywood Reporter is reporting The Bachelor finds its star among upcoming Bachelorette contestants. The next lead of the ABC franchise has yet to make his debut. The 26th season of the long-running reality dating show has yet to be officially renewed by the network, but the search for the franchise's next leading man has already concluded. You know, part of me was wishing they would just be like, psych, it's Natasha, another Bachelorette. You know, just every year they're like, and one more Bachelorette. Women need representation. The star for season 26 is a contestant who will compete on the upcoming season of The Bachelorette with Michelle Young, the sources tell Hollywood Reporter. Production is set to start at the end of September, with this season expected to air in January 2022. So can you believe it's almost Christmas? Can you believe this? This is insane. That's like, what year is it already? How old are we? So they're gonna start production on this in weeks. So it's gonna be leaked who the Bachelor is. So unless it's an early person who's voted off Michelle's season, we're probably not gonna see their dumping happening till October, November. So clearly there's going to be some spoilers while watching Michelle's season if that's the case. The decision to cast a yet-to-be-known suitor from Young's season before it even premieres on October 19th will come as a surprise to Bachelor Nation. This year brought about 2 seasons of Bachelorette, and with Katie Thurston's season having already aired, viewers of the franchise thrown their collective social media support behind season standouts Andrew Spencer, Michael A., and controversial runner-up Greg Grippo, all who ended up self-eliminating during Thurston's run. A lot of self-eliminations happening these days. By the way, I got 2 great videos coming out today. A chat with Bachelor Data. I'm going to drop that noon East Coast time. And right after this, I'll be dropping my chat with Dr. Diane Strakowski. She's a family therapist and talks about the apology that Brendan made. We're going to get into all that, so make sure you check out my 2 other videos. And if you want extra content, I've got a behind the scenes video on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. So you can go check that out. And thank you guys all for the support there. I talk about, the behind the scenes of the YouTube channel and this and that. All right. So Spencer and Grippo, as well as several men from Katie Thurston's season, were on the short list for Bachelor 26, along with Hunter. Just kidding. Hunter's not short. He's like my height, but, he's no Thomas. Producers, however, are said to have resonated most with the story of one of Young's soon-to-be exes and leaned instead towards giving the newcomer a second chance. I feel like the producers resonated due to a petition to not make Greg the lead that was snatched from his fingertips. With The Bachelor ready to go into production, Bachelor Nation should also expect a host announcement in coming weeks. After Chris Harrison's departure, former leads Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristowe stepped in to host both seasons of The Bachelorette, while franchise alum Wells Adams expanded his role from bartender to master of ceremonies, which still wears the bartender shirt. Can the guy get a shirt upgrade? On the currently airing 7th season of summer spinoff Bachelor in Paradise, also known as a dumpster fire on a beach, with a cake in the dumpster fire. Someone saved that cake for Riley. Meanwhile, the search for a more permanent host of the valuable ABC franchise has continued. My guess is it'll be Wells or someone like Ben Higgins. They're going to get some pretty vanilla guys to be a part of it. Or they just stick with the ladies. Maybe they'll stick with Tayshia and Caitlin. If it ain't Baroque, don't fix it. When Young's season launches, the runner-up from Matt James' season of The Bachelor will become the 3rd female lead of color. Her season also brings about a milestone for the franchise, as season 18 will cross the show over its 200th episode. So there it is, folks. And now, checking in on some other people, Mike Fleiss tweeted, he's the creator of the show, feels like a pretty good time for a major announcement. And he tweeted that last night. So are they just going to tell us who the guy's going to be, or are they going to tease it for a few weeks? It's weird for them to drop that on like a Thursday night. That's and then maybe they didn't mean to drop it. Maybe this source came out and said it was going to be, so now they feel like they need to talk about it. We'll have to see. Reality Steve posted, "I'm hearing this for the first time, like you all are. I'm guessing it's true. I'll see if I can find out who it is. But right now I'm in Vegas and football season has started. Priorities." So of course people commented, that Reality Steve didn't know the thing, so it's a big deal. Who cares? I mean, who would you guys have wanted this to be? Michael A. said, I'll do it, but it's got to be in Ohio. And I think people are like, well, listen, we're not trying to cast Akron's finest. No offense, Akron. No offense to you, but it is pretty limiting if you're just going to be in one city. And then, of course, Greg Grippo's fans kind of were like, after that season ended. Although, maybe in the future he'll get a redemption, but it is a quick turnaround for him. Now, the question is going to be, if we think it's a quick turnaround for people like Greg Grippo, whoever gets voted off this season, Michelle's season started filming in August, several weeks ago. It'll end filming in several weeks. So whoever the Bachelor is going to have like a 1 month turnaround, which makes you wonder, is it a finalist, a top 3 or 4, or is it a guy who only made it maybe halfway through and they liked his story? What's interesting about a lot of contestants is we don't find out a lot of dirt about them until their season starts. There's only so much you can Google online before, someone sees a contestant getting a hero edit and they go, I have stories about this guy, and then the tweeting starts happening. So that could be a possible nightmare for Bachelor producers if this guy's not properly vetted. So my final thing to talk about here is that Bachelor, Chicks in the Office, the podcast, I think it's the one who actually dropped the news here, which it's like, look, I get it. They're Barstool podcast. They're affiliated. They got high ties to all of Bachelor Nation, but it's like, could someone throw your boy a bone here? Wouldn't it be nice if I could have broken this news? Like, what's wrong with some, City Slicker Dave out here trying to break the news on the streets? Which, by the way, everyone from Bachelor Nation is in New York this weekend. I will promise you this. If I do meet Bachelor Nation people, I'm probably not going to talk about it here, maybe on Instagram. I just feel like I don't want to blow up people's spots, you know what I mean? It's kind of weird when you spend like 3 weeks, analyzing Dale's toes and then you're, sharing a Chardonnay with him. Okay, so here are the top comments from the reaction to the new Bachelor coming from Michelle's season in Unknown. A high school buddy of Joe Coleman, who also went to the U with both of us, told me last week he doesn't watch the show, but he knows I do, that Joe was the next Bachelor. And I was like, no, he's just on Michelle's season. And the guy was like, oh, okay, I probably heard wrong. But now I really don't know. I'm not going to ask him because I don't want to get myself more involved in any of this, but I will say I hope it's someone who went home early, because it doesn't even make sense to spoil the whole season by casting someone who made it far along. That's absolutely great. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to spoil the season, and you also don't want someone who's like super heartbroken, then 2 weeks later they get to meet 25 new people. Knowing the producers, I feel like there's no way they don't F this up and choose someone super problematic. Yeah, and that could be their thing too, is like that's like the excuse for the producers. If they do choose someone super problematic, then they're like, hey, we didn't know, we just cast them, we didn't have no idea, as opposed to the petitions that have come out. Reality Steve tweeted that he is hearing this for the first time and he guesses it's true. His reign as spoiler king is coming to an end. I just don't get why people dance on his grave. I don't understand. I don't get it. Reality Steve better stock up on Olive Garden breadsticks while he still has an income. Oh, that's, it's like strangers would really rather someone not be successful. I hope Reality Steve makes as much money as he wants because of Bachelor Nation. So we are at least going to actually see this guy as a contestant this time, right? We really didn't get to know Matt at all on his own season, and we didn't have any other seasons to rely on either. That wasn't overall great. Yeah, it's going to be very hard to hype up this season of Bachelor 22 when we don't know who we're dealing with. It's not going to generate as much traffic right now, but once we get to know the person on Michelle's season, there could be some stuff to talk about. We'll get into all of that. If you want extra content, like I said, I've got my Patreon episode that is out now, patreon.com/Dave Neal. It's like a 40-minute conversation, me, you. I talk about getting back into the swing of thing with stand-up, and if you want, on my Patreon, I have all my other some other stand-up shows. I'll probably post a stand-up show from this weekend for the people that can't make it out to New York City. If you are in New York City, I have a show in Brooklyn tonight, 10 p.m., Sunday, I've got a show at 5:30. It's going to be sold out if it's not already. 5:30 p.m. at the Village Idiot in the East Village. and then 8 p.m. at Eastville Comedy Club in Brooklyn. So those shows are going to be great too. So definitely come out, have a laugh with us, say hi, and I'm so thankful to everyone who's been coming to the comedy shows. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. I did not sleep well on the flight. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go get a coffee. Bye, guys.